Welcome to the Healthpreneur Podcast. My name is Uriel Kame, New York Times bestselling author, former professional athlete, and founder of Healthpreneur, the world's leading company helping health and fitness experts start and scale high-end coaching businesses. If you want to attract more clients, learn how to convert them without feeling salesy, and deliver an amazing program for them on the back end, if you want to be inspired by what others just like you have gone through and how you can do the same no matter what life throws your way, then you are in the right place, because every single week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're going to be bringing you the best to help you take your knowledge and expertise to the next level with your health or fitness coaching business. And if you enjoy what you see and hear and would like to take your business to the next level, then I invite you to check out our free online training over at healthpreneurgroup.com/training. And for now, let's get into today's episode. Welcome back to the podcast. Yuri here, excited to share a new tool with you in today's episode. It's called the Client Activator Scorecard, and it looks like this. Now, if you're watching this on video, you can see it. If you're listening to this on iTunes, obviously you can't see it. But either way, you can grab it for free over at healthpreneurgroup.com/scorecard. Now, with that said, let's talk about why you'd even want to do that and why this, what's the point of the scorecard in the first place? So here's the thing. I've been doing this for a long time, as you know, and I've always been fascinated by once the mechanics are taken care of, like once the funnel has been built, once the pages are there, why is it that one person's funnel or pipeline works so much better than someone else's? And this is something I spent a lot of time thinking about. It's something I've spent a lot of time thinking about over the years because, as I've mentioned several times before, I have put out a lot of things to market and 80% of them have flopped. So I've learned a lot of hard lessons along the way. And what I've discovered is that conversions really matter, right? We talk about traffic and conversion. People want to get more traffic to their website, traffic to their webinar, traffic to their offer. But the reality is that if your conversions are subpar, you can't get more traffic. Because if we think of two traffic sources, let's look at Facebook ads for a second. If your conversions are really low on Facebook ads, so Facebook ad to an opt-in page, for instance, webinar, etc., if those conversions are very, very poor, not only is your cost per acquisition going up significantly higher, but your return on ad spend becomes very negligible. So it's very tough to scale that. So if you're starting at $20 a day and you're like, I'm not too sure if it's really making sense. Well, it's not that mechanically, it doesn't mean that the funnel doesn't work. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that that business model doesn't work. What it does signify is that you have an offer problem. So the offer is what is going to lead to the conversion, right? So I come to you and I say, listen, let's just look at an example, okay? So you're hiking through the desert, or you got lost, you're on a camel ride and you got lost, and you have no water. You're dying of thirst. It's beaming hot outside and you have no water. And here I come out of this oasis and I offer you a sandwich. And you're thinking to yourself, like, yeah, you know what, a sandwich, that'd be okay, but really I can't even fathom eating a sandwich right now because I'm so thirsty. So the offer of the sandwich is not going to convert as well. Now, if we take that same story, but we reverse it, and here I come walking out of this oasis with a bottle of water this time, now what's going to happen? Conversion goes up. You're going to chug this bottle of water in 5 seconds. It's a must-have. Now, nothing changed in the way I approached you. There was no, I didn't look differently. Everything else was the same. The only difference was I presented a different offer to you that was a must-have. And that's what I want you to think about with your business. Is if you were having a tough time getting leads, converting those leads into paying clients, etc., you don't have a traffic problem. Everyone wants more traffic to their website. They want their stuff to be seen by more people. It's like, no, you've put the cart before the horse. You need to really dial in your offer so that people actually want it. That's what makes the difference. So the Client Activator Scorecard was developed to help you, number one, diagnose the quality of your offer. And quite honestly, the quality of your offer is basically representative by your bank account. So if you look at your bank account and you don't have enough money in there, that's a good indication that your offer is not what it should be. So anyways, the Client Activator Scorecard is going to pinpoint 9 activators that turn cold leads into high-paying clients. And what I want to do over the next couple episodes is walk you through one by one what those are. So we're going to dedicate each episode to one activator. We're going to go deep on that. And I'm going to help you get a better sense of how all this stuff works so that you have a better understanding of what to look for. Because I promise you, I'm going to present stuff to you you've probably never even thought of. And if we think of information as an important advantage that you have, like not knowing information is going to hold you back from moving forward, and having the right information is going to be that secret weapon that can make all the difference. That's what I'm going to present with you or to you over the next couple of weeks with the podcast. Is I'm going to walk you through each one of the 9 activators, and we're going to look at number 1, how is that activator? Is it even activated in your business? Number 2, we're going to look at with that, where are the leaks in your marketing? And then I'm going to give you a couple tips here and there to help you plug those leaks so you can improve your conversions by making stronger offers that people actually want. As a result of that, you're going to find it easier to get higher conversions. Doesn't matter the source of traffic, right? So I mentioned one source of traffic being Facebook ads earlier. I forgot to mention the second. Second being, let's say, affiliates and joint ventures, right? So if you have a launch, that launch will flop if your offer doesn't convert. Does that make sense? So it doesn't matter where the traffic is coming from. The traffic is going to dry up very quickly if it doesn't convert well. So again, go to healthprenneurgroup.com/scorecard. Download this bad boy. It's actually 2 pages. And the first page is going to walk you through the 9 activators. It's going to give you a number of statements for each activator. You're going to select the score from a range of 1 to 9 that is most representative of where you're at right now. You're going to total up your score on the second page, and then it's going to give you a total score, and you'll be able to categorize yourself in one of 4 categories. And those categories range from struggling to dominating. And obviously we want to be closer to the dominating category, right? Because it's, struggling is not fun. So that is just a little bit of a preamble for what we're going to be doing over the next couple episodes. So your first step right now is to go to healthprenneurgroup.com/scorecard. Download the scorecard totally free. You're going to fill it in. You can type directly into the PDF or you can print it out and write into it. You're going to total up your score. I've also included a free bonus deep dive training that is going to give you a very condensed version of what I'm going to be talking about over the next month and a half on the podcast. If you want to just get all that within the space of 60 minutes, then you'll get all that in the deep dive training pretty much. So again, all of that, you'll get the scorecard and the deep dive training over at healthprenneurgroup.com/scorecard. And I want to just kind of jump in today, a really quick episode, nothing too crazy, but I do want to just let you know about this new tool we have. And the goal is that it's going to help you craft better offers that people actually want, so you have better conversions, ultimately more leads and more clients and more money in your bank account and a lot less frustration. Does that make sense? So I'm going to just leave it there for now. And with that said, get the scorecard. I'll see you in the next episode, and we'll dive deep into the first activator. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's talk about the first activator in this episode. I'm going to leave you with some goodies. Sound good? The next episode, we'll talk about the second activator. Now, before I get into the 9 activators, I just want to give you a higher level view of how, the umbrellas that they fall into. So when we look at an offer, there's 3 components. There's message, market, and magic. Magic, you can consider it to be kind of like the offer, like what is it that you're offering someone? But you can't just have a good offer to the wrong audience, right? And your messaging needs to be dialed in order for that audience to even care what you're talking about. So we look at message, market, and magic. And if we look at the first pillar being market, there are 3 activators under that. There are 3 activators under message, and there are 3 activators under magic. We'll look at each one of those. Today, I just want to really quickly touch on the first one. And the first activator is single target market seeking a solution now. Okay, single target market seeking a solution now. So if we look at the scorecard here, you'll see there's just a number of statements or 3 statements, and you're just going to identify which one most identifies your situation. So if I just read the statement off the scorecard, on the end that is not ideal, here's the statement for single target market seeking a solution now. Your single target market is everyone. You're willing to work with anyone who will pay you. Now that is on the side of the spectrum that is least ideal. Now, as you're going through the scorecard, listen, you don't have to share this number with me. This is for you. Like, you have to be very honest with yourself and look at that statement and just ask yourself, is that me? Like, is my single target market everyone? And surprisingly, for a lot of health and fitness and wellness professionals, it is. I help, what kind of clients do you coach? Oh, I help anyone. Well, you would put yourself in that category then, a 1, 2, or 3 based on how severe that statement is true for you, okay? If we move along the spectrum from 1, 2, 3, kind of like the worst category to kind of middle of the road, the statement is you focus your marketing efforts on whatever the hot or trending market is right now. Okay, so let me repeat that. You focus your marketing efforts on whatever is the hot or trending market right now. So you kind of just jump on the bandwagon. You talk about keto's hot. Now you're like, this person jumps on keto. And then like next year it's something else. You jump on that. And listen, like if you have the bandwidth to do that, that's fine, right? Like you can do that. Like Procter & Gamble has, and I'll save this actually for a future episode, but they have they enter a market, and every single time they do, they have one focus, and that focus is to dominate. So yes, there's a kind of a, there's having this awareness of like, what is it that people are talking about? How can I add value here? How can I solve some problems? As opposed to just, working within a market that no one cares about anymore. But the thing I'm trying to get at here is that you're just not jumping from one to the next. Like you're not like an intermittent fasting person 1 month, and then a keto person the next month, and then a raw food person the next month, and then a whatever that, like, become like the best in a specific space. Okay. So again, if you're in that's kind of middle range, 4, 5, or 6. And then the ideal is you dominate a specific target market and you focus on helping people who are seeking help now. That's the ideal. So again, it's at 7, 8, or 9 of that statement. 9 being like, this is 100% true of my business. This is exactly what I'm doing. Boom. Again, don't lie to yourself, because if you go through this scorecard and you get a very high score, that means you're absolutely crushing it in your business. If you have a high score, but your bank account doesn't reflect it, or if you have a high score and you feel stressed, overwhelmed, and it doesn't feel like you're getting anywhere, then you're not being honest with yourself. Okay, so if you were like absolutely dominating and just like crushing and doing tons of good stuff, making tons of money, helping a lot of people, and you feel really good about what you're doing in business, your score should be high on the scorecard. But if it's not, your score should be lower. Okay, so don't lie to yourself. It doesn't help anyone, right? So the focus, the ideal is to move from I help everyone, move it towards I focus on helping a single target market seeking a solution now. So for instance, with Healthpreneur, we only help health, fitness, and wellness coaches, right? Not people selling supplements, coaches. Okay, so it's a niche within a niche who want to get more clients and scale their coaching so they're not dependent upon one-on-one. That's what we do, okay? So if you're a coach who wants to get more clients and you want to move away from burnout, we're the best at what we do. And I could do the same thing with all coaches. I could do any coaches, business coaches, internet marketing coaches, whatever. It's the same thing, but I choose not to, because we want to dominate and be the number one player in this space. So the first activator, and the reason this is important is that this is going to tie into your messaging down the road, is once you identify a single target market, it's very easy to craft messaging to that specific group of people. Versus if you help everyone, how do you distill your messaging down so that everyone feels understood? You can't. That's the challenge that I faced when I was starting my health business, was that I was kind of a generalist. I just kind of did everything. And it was very, very tough to do that. Obviously, we made it work to some degree, but it's very, very, it's tough to do that, because you're like, hey, you're competing with Dr. Oz, right? It's a very tough place to win when you try to be a big fish in a big ocean. It's a lot easier to be a big fish in a small pond. And don't worry, there's more than enough people. If you're worried about, I'm going to alienate people, yes, you will. Great. That's what you want to do. Could you serve everyone? Yes. Doesn't mean you should. It makes sense, right? Just because you can help a lot of people doesn't mean you should help a lot of people. It means that you need to focus on helping the right people, right? And at least for now, like down the road, you can obviously expand and so forth. But at one single time, your single target market needs to be the focus, and they need to be seeking a solution now. When I was 15, I broke my leg playing soccer. I wanted a solution right now. I wanted a cast. I wanted my leg to be better. That's seeking a solution now. Many times in my life, I've been kicked playing soccer and I got bruised. Was I seeking a solution now? No, I just threw some ice on it, no big deal, right? So what we're going to talk about in the next episode is the second activator, which is actually going to segue from what I just talked about into a deeper dive on that specific topic, which again, I'm going to keep you in suspense on just so that you tune in. So today, just a little bit of a introduction to the Client Activator Scorecard. And we talked about the first activator being choosing a single target market that is seeking a solution now. When you do that, again, this is the first step to starting to improve your conversions. Now, the final thing I'll mention is that you can't just have one of these dialed in and then everything else is like whatever. You have to have all 9 of these dialed in. Think of dog sledding. I don't know if you've ever dog sled before. I haven't, but I have 2 dogs and it's close enough, because if one dog wants to go left and the other one wants to go right, or if I want to go for a walk forward and they're just like, nope, I'm not moving. That's kind of like what this is like. Is if you have 7 activators cranking, but 2 of them are not, it's going to be like you're driving with your brake fully pressed down to the floor. You're not going to make the headway. But the thing is, if you can release the brake on those 2 activators and now you have all 9 activators working like clockwork, it's amazing what can happen to your business, and that can happen very, very quickly. Okay, so that is my message for you today. I hope you find it encouraging. It's a really, really cool tool. I think you'll really get a lot of value out of it. So again, just to finish off, healthpreneurgroup.com/scorecard. Download yours today. I will see you in the next episode where we're going to talk about the second activator, the second client activator. And for now, have an amazing day, and I'll see you then. Hey, thanks so much for joining us on this episode of the Healthpreneur Podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, here's what I'd like you to do right now. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Healthpreneur Podcast on iTunes. And while you're there, leave us a rating or review. It helps us get in front of more people and change more lives. And if you're ready to start or scale your health or fitness coaching business and want to start getting in front of more people, working with them at a higher level without trading time for money, then I invite you to check out our free 7-figure health business blueprint training, totally free right now. And you can do so at healthpreneurgroup.com/training. For now, thank you so much for joining us. Continue to be great, do great, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.